Hey guys, welcome back to Clash with Corey. If you like my videos, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and turn on that notification bell. Check out the details below my videos when you get a chance. In there, I've got links to my Discord server and WHF's recruiting Discord server. WHF is recruiting Max Town Hall 10s, Max Town Hall 11s, and Max Town Hall 12s, especially Max Town Hall 10s right now. Today's video, we're going to try and talk about all the new stuff in Clash of Clans because they're making a lot of updates, they're making a lot of changes, little tweaks every day. This morning we woke up and there's a brand new troop, El Primo, so we're going to take a look at him, what he can do inside some attacks and ability-wise and all that good stuff. We're also going to take a look at the new bat spell. I say new because it just got nerfed. We're going to see what it can still do and what it can't, and we're going to take a look at using the Stone Slammer as well, see how strong it still is, and with that, let's get into some examples.
Nerf this!
So, first of all, we're going to take a look at El Primo. It's super easy to, glance at his DPS and his hit points and not read the thing down below, because I'll tell you right now, I didn't do it until just now. I started playing with it first. I started watching Nick play with it on my base, and I noticed this guy punches through walls like really fast. No rage, nothing. One El Primo, 3 punches to get through a Max Town Hall 10 level wall, and I was like, what the heck? It doesn't say he has bonus damage to walls. But if you look down there at the very bottom, it says, this mysterious masked fighter seemingly turned up out of nowhere, throwing punches that shatter walls with ease. So even though it doesn't say that he does bonus damage to walls, there is that mechanic in there to where he just one of them gets through a Max Town Hall 10 wall with 3 punches. I'm betting 2 of them probably do it in, 2 or less, maybe even, and more, obviously. They're just through that wall instantly. So first thing, notice, he's going to punch through walls, no problem. If you're going to play around with him, don't bother bringing a jump. He's going to make his own way through the base just fine. So here's a pretty good example we can watch of a single El Primo making his way through a wall in record time and multiple El Primos crushing through him just like that. Look at that one right there. Boom. So fast he gets through that wall. That is crazy. Now we're going to see several of them just pop right out of the middle and move on over to the sides. Now keep an eye when they go to those walls, and let's see how fast they're going to get through. Oh, wow. They're not going to go through the walls at all. Just kidding. Are they ever going to hit the walls? There we go. These guys. Boom. Instantly right through the wall. No problem at all. Another thing to note about these guys is that they only target defenses. So Nick had the thought that, hey, you could probably use these in an HGHB in place of the Giants because they also target defenses. They should, lock on a wall, go into the base. Now, he didn't elect to bring bowlers here, which I definitely would have done. But he's still going to triple this farm base of mine just fine. It's kind of a cool example. Just getting to see them in action. They cut through those walls so fast, and once they get in there, they definitely take out the defenses. So I would be interested in trying an HGHB army with it myself. Is that going to be an effective war attack on the right base? Sure. But a lot of the newer meta bases make funneling so difficult, and entry points for HGHB really difficult to find. So you could probably find a base that would work well on if you find one that looks susceptible to HGHB. But this definitely isn't an army that I'd try bringing on every base while these El Primos last. So here they go, man. God, they cut through the walls so fast. Now, if he would have had some bowlers in there behind him, they could have done that, that bowler bounce damage over the edge of the walls there as well. But he does get a couple healers, or at least one healer that swaps off onto the El Primos. And looks like he had a couple of Giants in there as well. And that is going to move that core group right through the core. The Queen's following behind, so she's able to take out that big dragon in the enemy CC. Looks like all the El Primos are dead now. They only got 1 healer swap from the Queen, so didn't get enough healing, even with the rages, to keep him up. But he's got enough back-in hogs, and still a full health Queen with an ability here and a freeze, that he's going to be able to get through this base just fine. fine. Gonna pop her ability there to get that single target Inferno taken out. Has a couple hogs in there on that other single target Inferno, and still has some troops inside this wall wrecker as well. Looks like he brought some Max Valks in there. Another thing to note about the El Primo, you cannot donate them, so don't bother requesting them. Nobody can donate them to you. They can't put it in somebody's CC. It just doesn't even give you the option. Not in a regular donation or a gem donation. It's just not an option. So another thing to note about the El Primo. So he's going to wrap this up real quick. Now we're going to take a look at the bat spell, because that's what I've been mainly focused on for the last couple days, is just how crazy overpowered the bat spell was, and it was just wrecking bases. I've been doing some testing with it this morning, and so far, it's much better. It's much more reasonable, all right? So we're going to take a look at the examples of that right now. So Dio was kind enough to post an old base for me a couple times so I could check out the bat spells. If you guys remember the last couple days I was testing with them, it was like 7 bat spells, a freeze, a rage, you know, and whatever else. And we're just wrecking bases because the bat spell was taking out over half the base where the defense is. I mean, it's just ridiculous. So I get him right in there on that sweeper. I'm thinking I'm going to take out that whole half of the base again, you know, like all those air defenses. So I take out the sweeper first because that definitely pushed them out of the way. And they get a little off track, and then all of a sudden they're gone. 7 bat spells. So I'm like, wow, there's a lot of base left. Didn't get that many defenses at all. The only reason I placed it where I placed it was I thought I was going to get a ton, because everybody's saying, hey, the bat spell's still overpowered. And, you know, for some applications, I'm sure it's still really useful, but it's not nearly as crazy as it was before. So I'm going to say, on the surface of it, they did a really good job nerfing this thing down to a reasonable level. Is it still going to be useful? Yeah, I think so. Definitely. But it's not going to be insane like it was before. And, you know, as a result of really not getting much and only having 3 spell space left, I'm not even going to come close on this base. The fact that the Suicide Hero is always split up on that corner definitely didn't help me. Look, Queen's going to, instead of going for that other air defense, she's going to wrap back around for that gold mine. That happened on my second attempt on this base, too. But yeah, so due to that, this one's going to fall way short. I mean, I still got to deal with the queen. And before, I was taking out so much of the base, I didn't even worry about it. I just figured, the minions or loons or something will get her eventually. There's too many defense left up to do that, so I did put a dragon and a couple loons inside the stone slammer so that when it pops, those dragons should hopefully take care of the queen. Now, she did lock on to the Stone Slammer, and my minions were able to take her out. So the Stone Slammer still has really high HP. But by that time, you know, all the loons are gone. I had a whole side of Wizard Towers left over there, just not a lot really tanking them because of the location of the air defenses that were left. So, yeah, well short on that one. So I thought, hey, I'm gonna cook up that dragon army that I was crushing everything with the other day. I'm gonna give that a shot, and let's see if that is still just wrecking everything with no planning or nothing involved. And so far, the answer is no. I tried to drop the spell a little differently so they would kind of go to the right-hand side defenses. And, you know, it works, but once again, it's not going to get anything close to what it was getting before, and I don't even really think I'm in range of any splash. Maybe a little bit the Wizard Tower on the inside, but other than that, that was all point defenses taking those out. We had expos, we had air defenses, you know, archer towers, that sort of thing, and managed to keep up with 7 bat spells under rage and get them all taken out. So, you know, I hollow out a little chunk of the base, but nothing like what I was getting before. Now, I tried to improve these Sui heroes so that my queen would go down and get this air defense, but it's just not in the cards. And here's why. This double space right here is going to eventually stop her. And, well, she didn't even get that far, and she wrapped around to go after that stupid gold storage. So I don't even end up getting any extra air defenses with my heroes, because that's a really tough spot to Sui, apparently. And that's definitely a factor. But you know, you gotta remember, before, on those dragon attacks I was throwing down, I wasn't planning those either. You know, not at all, and I was just crushing everything, so, you know, definitely a big improvement skill-wise. Are these things still going to be useful? Are you still going to be able to 3-star bases with this? Yeah, definitely, but not every base, not every time. That's the way it should be. Useful, you know what I mean? Strategic, but not overpowered. So, and that's what it's looking like it is so far. Once again, all my loons are toasted. I still got to deal with a single on the backside with nothing but dragons and a freeze. Not looking very good for me on this attack. And honestly, I'm happy to see that. I am. You know, especially because I have to build bases for CWL, you know, and they might not be allowing bat spells yet, most clans for CWL, because, you know, it's so new and it was so overpowered at first, but still, if you have to build your own bases and try to defend against skilled attackers, things like this could be a nightmare, you know what I mean? Like, how do I defend this? Because before, when it first came out, the answer was you can't. You can't defend it. It was crazy overpowerful. So now it can be defended. Multi-target Infernos are going to give it a really hard time now, especially two multi-targets that cover each other's area. You're not going to be able to find an effective way to bat spell that base, I do not think. So I'm loving the balancing changes so far. So that pretty much wraps it up for this video. Just trying to keep up with all this new stuff coming out. I think one of the hot strategies that's worth practicing right now that's going to be in the game for a long time is going to be an Electron with the Stone Slammer, because instead of having to come from a certain angle of the base towards the Town Hall, you can now come from any angle of the base that you want. So I think it's definitely worth throwing an E-Drag in your Stone Slammer, cooking up a couple clone spells, and start to practice that at least until bases, change, Electron from any angle of the base that you want. So I'd keep an eye on that, start practicing that. I think that's going to be a big part of the game moving forward. With that, I hope you guys liked the video, and I'll see you in the next one.
Nerf this!